Your alarm goes off. You reach for your phone, eyes still blurry. Emails, texts, news alerts, all of it flooding in before you've even sat up. Maybe you chug some coffee, skip breakfast, rush to get ready. Normal morning, right? Productive even. But inside, your cortisol just doubled. And that's not motivating you, it's making you fat. Because here's what actually happens: your body wakes up with cortisol already elevated. It's supposed to be. That's your natural alarm clock, been doing its job since humans lived in caves. But when you stack certain triggers on top of that spike, your stress hormone doesn't just rise, it explodes. And when cortisol stays high, your body flips a switch. Fat storage mode activated, metabolism slowed, hunger cranked up. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's happening in those first 60 minutes after you wake up, which mistake is sabotaging your whole day, and how to fix it without changing your entire routine. Not some extreme biohack, just working with your biology instead of accidentally fighting it. Let's find out from the inside. Think of your morning as a team meeting your body holds every single day. The agenda: wake up, get energy flowing, prepare for whatever's coming. Simple stuff. Your adrenal glands are the alarm company. They've been prepping cortisol all night, getting ready to ring the bell at dawn. Punctual, professional, been doing this job for millennia. They know exactly when to sound the wake-up call and how loud it should be. Your brain is the operations manager. Control tower vibes. It's already scanning for threats before you're even conscious. Emails, threats. Deadlines, threats. That weird noise outside, definitely a threat. It can't tell the difference between actual danger and inbox anxiety. Both light up the same alarm systems. Insulin is the energy coordinator. Calm, organized, ready to direct fuel where it needs to go. Muscles, brain, daily operations. It's standing by, clipboard in hand, waiting for instructions. Your fat cells are the strategic reserve team. They sit on stored energy, ready to release it when the signal comes. But only when the coast is clear. When stress is high, they lock the vault. Orders from the top, and cortisol itself? Think of it as your body's emergency broadcast system. In the right dose, it's your get up and go. That spark that makes you feel alive in the morning. But turn the volume too high, and it's just noise that makes everything panic. Right now, most people wake up and immediately hit cortisol with a triple shot of stress. Phone notifications, rushed decisions, stimulants on an empty stomach. Your adrenal glands are like, wait, we already sent the wake-up call. Why are you screaming fire drill? And that's when the whole system goes from good morning to emergency mode. So what exactly happens when your morning routine doubles your stress hormone? Let's break down the biology. Here's what you need to understand. Cortisol isn't the enemy. It's your body's built-in alarm clock and energy mobilizer. The problem is when it goes from alarm to air raid siren. Normal cortisol, that natural morning spike, is like a gentle wake-up call. It nudges blood sugar up, sharpens your brain, gets you out of bed. This is the cortisol awakening response. Totally healthy. Been keeping humans alive since we lived in caves. Your adrenal glands plan this. They know what they're doing. Chronic elevated cortisol is when the alarm never shuts off. Your body thinks there's a predator in every email, a crisis in every notification. It's like leaving your car, alarm blaring in the driveway all day. Eventually, the neighbors stop caring, but your battery's dead. Here's where it gets interesting. Cortisol alone doesn't make you fat, but cortisol plus insulin? That's the combo that locks fat away like Fort Knox. Think of your fat cells as a bank. Insulin is the teller handling deposits. Cortisol is the security system. When cortisol spikes, it tells insulin, we're under threat. Store everything. Don't let anything out. So insulin starts shoving glucose into fat cells and slamming the vault door shut. Even if you're eating clean, even if you're in a calorie deficit, the security protocol overrides everything. Your fat cells aren't being stubborn. They're following orders. When cortisol stays elevated all morning, your liver starts pumping out extra glucose, thinking you need fight or flight fuel. Insulin rises to handle that glucose. But cortisol tells your cells, don't use this for energy, save it. High blood sugar plus high insulin plus cortisol equals fat storage mode activated. Plus, cortisol cranks up ghrelin, the I'm starving signal, and suppresses leptin, the I'm full signal. Translation: you'll crave sugar and carbs all day, even if you just ate. Your body thinks it's doing you a favor. It's preparing you for danger. But that danger is just your inbox. But here's where it gets interesting. Let's walk through exactly what happens, minute by minute, when you make the mistake. Say you're doing what most people do, checking your phone within minutes of waking up. Here's the biological domino effect. You wake up. Your cortisol is already elevated, around 50 to 60% higher than it was at midnight. This is normal. This is good. Your adrenal glands plan this. They set the volume to a 5, perfect wake-up level. Then you grab your phone, emails from your boss, news alerts about some disaster, text from someone who's upset, maybe just endless social media, comparing yourself to others' highlight reels. Your brain's threat detection system, the amygdala, lights up like a Christmas tree. It can't tell the difference between angry email and actual danger. Both register as threats. Your adrenal glands, which were doing their normal morning routine, get an emergency order. Send more cortisol, now. The spike doubles. What should be a gentle rise becomes a mountain peak. That volume knob just got cranked to an 11. Within 5 to 15 minutes, that cortisol spike tells your liver, we need energy for this emergency. Your liver starts dumping stored glucose into your bloodstream. Blood sugar shoots up even though you haven't eaten anything. 0 calories in, but your blood sugar's climbing like you just mainlined a donut. Your stomach, meanwhile, is having an identity crisis. It's making digestive juices, preparing for breakfast, wondering why blood sugar is spiking when the dining room's empty. It's like a chef prepping for a dinner party that nobody told them was canceled. Your pancreas detects the sugar spike and sends out insulin like an ambulance crew. We've got runaway glucose. Send backup. But here's the problem. Your cells are insulin resistant in the morning. They're just waking up, still groggy, not ready to receive fuel. So insulin has to work harder, which means more insulin, which means more fat storage signals. Your body is running a fire drill, using up emergency fuel, but there's no actual fire, just emails. By 15 to 30 minutes in, the Hunger Games begin. High cortisol plus high insulin equals hunger hormone chaos. Ghrelin, your hunger hormone, spikes. You suddenly crave something sweet or carb-heavy. Your brain needs quick fuel to deal with all this stress. Leptin, which tells you when you're full, drops. Your body's like, if we're in danger, we need to eat as much as possible. Now, you're making breakfast choices based on survival instincts, not nutrition. Toast, sugary coffee, quick carbs. Exactly what spikes insulin even more. By 30 to 60 minutes, you've got elevated cortisol still running, high insulin from both stress and that carb-heavy breakfast, and a blood sugar roller coaster starting its first drop. Your fat cells read this combination and shut the vault. Everything we have, we're keeping. Orders from the top. Your metabolism slows. Why burn energy when we might need it for this emergency? The worst part? This sets the tone for the entire day. High cortisol at hour 1 means higher cortisol all day. It's like starting a conversation with yelling. Everything that follows is louder than it should be. This isn't happening once. It's happening every single morning. Your body never gets the signal that the coast is clear. It's stuck in a loop. Wake up, stress spike, store fat, crave sugar, repeat. So if the problem is doubling your natural cortisol spike, what's the solution? It's simpler than you think, but it requires working with your biology, not against it. Here's the truth most morning routines miss. You can't eliminate cortisol, and you shouldn't want to. The goal isn't to wake up in some zen state with 0 stress hormones. That'd be weird. You'd probably fall back asleep. Your body gives you about a 90-minute window after waking up where cortisol is supposed to rise, peak, then naturally decline. That's your cortisol awakening response working perfectly. The alarm rings, you wake up, energy mobilizes, then it settles back down. This rhythm has been fine-tuned over millions of years. The problem is when you interrupt that natural rhythm with artificial stressors that keep it elevated. Think about it. That natural spike, the one your adrenal glands carefully prepared, it sharpens your focus, gets you out of bed, mobilizes energy, prepares you for the day. Morning cortisol is actually your friend. It's when you stack psychological stress, emails and news, and rushing, on top of physiological stress, caffeine on an empty stomach, skipping food, intense exercise, that cortisol goes from helpful to harmful. One stressor, your body handles it fine. Two stressors simultaneously, still manageable. Phone plus empty stomach plus coffee plus rushing plus work stress. You just multiplied cortisol, and now your metabolism is in shutdown mode. Remember that volume knob? Your adrenal glands set it to a 5, perfect morning level. But when you grab your phone, chug coffee, and panic about your schedule, you're cranking it to an 11. The speakers blow out. The system can't handle it. Here's the simple formula. Natural cortisol spike plus calm morning routine equals energy and fat burning. Natural cortisol spike plus stacked stressors equals doubled cortisol and fat storage. This isn't failure. It's feedback. Your body's doing exactly what it evolved to do. Respond to perceived threats. You're not broken. Your morning routine is just accidentally training your body to stay stressed. The biological system works. It's elegant, efficient. It just needs you to stop interrupting it. Once you understand this, the fix becomes obvious. So here's exactly what to do instead. These aren't extreme biohacks. They're small adjustments that protect your natural cortisol rhythm instead of hijacking it. First, delay the digital. No phone for the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking. Not even just checking one thing. Every notification is a cortisol trigger. Your amygdala can't tell the difference between work email and actual threat, remember? So instead of reaching for your phone, get sunlight exposure, even through a window. Natural light helps regulate cortisol naturally. Tells your body it's morning in the way it's supposed to hear it. Light movement works too. Gentle stretching, a short walk. This uses the cortisol for its intended purpose, mobilizing energy for activity, not anxiety. Hydration helps. Water, maybe with a pinch of salt, supports your adrenal glands without overstimulating them. Your cortisol peaks naturally within 30 minutes of waking, then should start declining. By avoiding digital stress during this window, you let the spike happen and resolve without doubling it. That's the whole game. Second thing, if you drink coffee, eat protein first, at least 15 to 20 grams. Eggs, Greek yogurt, protein shake. Something that slows digestion and stabilizes blood sugar. Coffee on an empty stomach spikes cortisol another 20 to 30%. Add that to your waking spike, and you're in fat storage territory before 8 a.m. But protein blunts the insulin response and gives your body actual fuel instead of just stimulation. Caffeine plus protein equals energy. Caffeine plus empty stomach equals stress response. If you fast in the morning, that's fine. Just delay the coffee until hour 2 or 3, when your natural cortisol has already started declining. Third, front-load calm. Spend the first 10 minutes doing something that doesn't require decision-making or emotional energy. Breathwork, light movement, sitting outside, simple routine tasks, decision fatigue, and emotional processing. Both spike cortisol. Your brain in the first hour is like a computer booting up. Let it load before opening 47 tabs. Make your bed. Simple. Accomplishing? No stress. Do 10 deep breaths. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the calm down branch. Write down 3 priorities. Organizes your brain without overwhelming it. Avoid news scrolling. That's stress without action. Skip difficult conversations first thing. Emotional cortisol spike. Hold off on intense workouts on an empty stomach. Physical cortisol spike stacked on your natural one. Here's what trips people up. They try to do all 3 perfectly on day 1, then beat themselves up when it doesn't happen. Start with 1. Pick the easiest shift for your life. No phone for 30 minutes, or protein before coffee, or 10 calm minutes. Get that consistent for a week, then add the next one. Your cortisol doesn't care if you optimize everything overnight. It cares about consistent signals over time. Your body isn't asking for a perfect morning. It's asking for 60 to 90 minutes where you don't accidentally activate emergency mode. Give it that, and your metabolism will thank you all day. You woke up this morning thinking you were being productive, checking emails, getting a head start, pushing through with coffee and urgency. But your cortisol doubled, your insulin spiked, and your body spent the entire day in fat storage mode. This isn't failure. It's feedback your body isn't broken. It's following ancient software that thinks every notification is a predator. Every empty stomach plus caffeine is a famine signal. Every rushed decision is a life or death moment. But once you understand the signal you're sending, stacked stressors during your cortisol window, the fix becomes obvious. Protect those first 60 minutes. Let your cortisol peak naturally, then decline naturally. Stop doubling it with digital stress and empty stomach caffeine. Work with your biology, not against it. You didn't just learn why you've been stuck. You learned how to unlock the version of you that wakes up energized, stays sharp all day, and actually burns fat instead of storing it. The metabolic switch you've been looking for was never about willpower or discipline. It was about timing. Your adrenal glands have been trying to help you all along. Now you know how to let them.